नमस्कार मैडम. Hello, namaskar madam. Good morning.
Good morning, Olive.
Hello. Can you hear me, madam?
Yeah, Prakash, you are audible. Am I audible to you?
Yes, yes. Very fine, madam.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Namaskar. Namaskar.
So, shall we start?
Please go ahead.
Good morning to everyone here. We are here for the inaugural program of the 1 week, 1 lab program of CSIR NGRI. Please check your mobiles for a minute for the do not disturb mode. Dear colleagues in the room, those who have joined online, esteemed dignitaries and special invitees, I welcome you all to this session. I'm Kusmita Arora, Chief Scientist in NGRI, and it is my privilege to conduct today's meeting. The success of Chandrayaan and Aditya L1 missions have catapulted India's position in the world, on the world stage, and brought the achievements of science and technology in the limelight in the eyes of the people of the country, especially the youth. With this very conducive background, CSIR NGRI's 1 week, 1 lab program is being inaugurated today to bring the stories of the Earth to the forefront and to the knowledge of the public. The OWOL program of CSIR was announced by Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Government of India, and launched in January of this year. The main idea was to connect with stakeholders and the public for a future of science of the people and for the people. We hope to do just that during the week ahead. Our chief guest for the occasion is Dr. P.S. Goel. Padma Shri Dr. Goel is an Indian space scientist, former Secretary of the Department of Ocean Development, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and former Director of Indian Space Research Organization. He was chairman of the RSC of DRDO and member of National Security Advisory Board. He's president of the Indian National Academy of Engineering and Vice President, Aeronautical Society of India, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Distinguished Professor of ISRO. He received several awards, including Distinguished Scientist Award of ISRO and Lifetime Achievement Award of INAE. As chairman of the Research Council of NGRI, he has been guiding us through the last years towards its path of innovation. Sir, I request you to come to the stage and take center seat. Our guest of honor, Dr. N. Kalai Salve, is the Director General of CSIR and head of the family, steering the organization to cross-disciplinary and result-oriented research. A specialist of electrochemical power systems and development of electrode materials, she is helping to propel each institute of the CSIR to reach its zenith. We miss your presence in the hall today, madam, and we welcome you to this program.
Thank you and namaskar.
Our next guest of honor, Shri Jayesh Ranjan, is the Principal Secretary for Information Technology, Electronics and Communication and Industries and Commerce, Department of the Government of Telangana. He is on his way to join this program, and due to weather and traffic, he is slightly delayed. He's part of the National Pool of Trainers in Leadership, constituted by the Government of India, and is involved in training and mentoring newly recruited civil servants. He's the recipient of the Royal Order of the Polar Star by His Majesty the King of Sweden in 2019 for promoting Swedish business interests in India, including the opening of IKEA's first Indian store in Hyderabad. He has also been awarded honorary doctorate from the University of Bolton, UK in 2022 for promoting bilateral trade and investments between UK and Telangana. He will be joining us on the dais. And the guests, of course, are joined by our director, Dr. Prakash Kumar, a seismologist of international repute, specializing in theoretical and computational seismology in both active and passive modes, awardee of the National Geoscience Award, Ani Talwani Memorial Prize, among others. He's leading the Institute towards new directions of research in exploration and hazard studies. It is time for the lighting of the lamp, for which we really miss our head of the family, but I invite the dignitaries here to come to the lighting of the lamp. Professor Harsh Gupta, Dr. Tiwari, Professor Dimri. Please.
Welcome.
Invite Director NGRI for his formal welcome and presentation of the OWOL program.
Good morning, all of you. Respected Professor Goel Saab, chief guest of today's function, our family head and the first woman Director General of CSIR, Dr. Kalai Selvi Madam, and the most dynamic secretary who is instrumental in realizing the vision of Digital Telangana, Sri CSIR Ranjan ji. He will be shortly join us because of the traffic. He is delaying by 10 to 15 minutes. Mr. Professor Mukesh Pandey, Vice Chancellor, Buldenkhand University. Professor Uddhav V. Bhosle ji, Vice Chancellor, Swami Ramanand Tirth, Marathwada University, Nanded. Dr. Prakash Chauhan ji, Director, NRSC. Former directors of CSIR NGRI, Padma Shri Professor Harsh Gupta ji, Padma Shri Dr. V.P. Dimri Saab, Dr. V.M. Tiwari Saab, Dr. N. Purnachandra Rao Saab, ex-director NSS, Chadda Saab, senior scientist, CA, COFA, FO, AO, people from admin, students, distinguished guests present offline and online, friends from press and media. On behalf of CSIR NGRI, I welcome you all to this inaugural function of today's 1 week, 1 lab program of CSIR NGRI. Let me first express my sincere gratitude and thanks to our chief guest and guest of honor for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. Colleagues, during this Amrit Kal, CSIR has launched a pan-CSIR initiative, 1 week, 1 lab, on 6th of January 2023, when Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, along with our DG Madam, have inaugurated this event from New Delhi. Since then, various laboratories of CSIR, all the 37, are celebrating this week-long event, one after the another, showcasing their legacy, R&D innovations, technology, and breakthrough to nation, organizing each day one event. And these also enable them to connect to the stakeholders, to the students, society, and displaying their technology and preparing also for their future strategies. Such insightful program took a shape of week-long celebration, grown and flourished under the visionary leadership of our respected DG Madam. CSIR NGRI is celebrating this program starting from 4th of September, from today, to 9th of September 2023. On September 5, we are organizing Geoscience Conclave. On September 6th, we have a stakeholder meeting. 7th and 8th, geothermal workshop. And September 7, parallelly, we have a Society and Farmer Connect. And September 8, open today to all the students and general public, where we are demonstrating our latest R&D achievements. Let me first share with you the illustrative journey of CSIR NGRI during this important occasion. CSIR NGRI is a unique laboratory in earth science in this country, where we have recently achieved the 60 years of journey R&D voyage to coordinate the geophysical research, emphasizing to understand the earth composition and structure from surface to its center. We are also committed to do research aspect of our exploration for groundwater, natural hydrocarbon, mineral, and also the assessment and mitigation of natural hazards such as earthquakes. Our focus areas are also the unconventional energy resource explorations, such as gas hydrate, shale gas, and coal bed methane. During these 60 years of journey, CSIR NGRI has given work on very pioneering areas, and the country has witnessed first time, like the preparation of gravity map of India, first airborne geophysical surveys, control source seismic surveys, deep drilling in Koina, gas hydrate quantification within our EEZ are few of them. With the core competence spanning in the whole of geoscience and gathering the experience for last 60 years, now CSIR NGRI has the capability to provide solution to any problem, geoscientific problem of this country. The institute has built an invaluable reputation in India and also the abroad by publishing number of books and the publications in journals of high repute. We have also executed several R&D, India-centric R&Ds for academic purpose, for societal, for environmental, and also for the economic sustenance of our country. I'm also very much extremely happy. I'm extremely happy to share you all that recently ISRO has acknowledged us for giving an important input in seismological aspect for Chandrayaan mission. Apart from doing the basic research and applied research, we have been also providing a very crucial inputs to our policy makers, to the government, in infrastructure, in energy, and also in the resource. In future, now CSIR NGRI is looking towards the integrated work for developing an early warning system, for geothermal exploration in Ladakh and other part of the India, for the resource, the water, the mapping of the water sustainability, energy for hydrocarbon, and also the lithium, and further the application of artificial intelligence and machine learning for geosciences. So I take this opportunity at last to especially thank to CSIR for giving us this great avenue to showcase our expertise, experience to the stakeholders, to the students, to the society, and listen to them, their experience, their comments, suggestions, so that we will fine-tune our R&D aspect for the future and for better way in future ahead, in a way ahead. Once again, my sincere thanks to our chief guest, Professor Goel Saab, guest of honor, DG Madam, and all the distinguished guests present here, online and offline, for gracing this occasion. My sincere thanks to all the coordinator of 1 week, 1 lab program of NGRI, scientists, technical staffs, students, admin people, who showed their utmost enthusiasm in making this arrangement and making this event a memorable and successful. Thank you very much.
Indeed, the whole of NGRI, all the research scholars, scientists, junior and senior, are geared for all the programs of the next week. Everyone has been working frenetically for this, and we look forward to very good programs each day. I request Dr. Kalai Selvi for her address.
Namaskar, Vanakkam, and pleasant morning to every one of you. I'm extremely happy to be a part of the inaugural event of 1 week, 1 lab program of CSIR NGRI. First of all, as rightly mentioned by you, not only you are missing my presence, I too miss my presence along with, especially amidst this NGRI family, because of the kind of preoccupations I have here in Delhi. And I was not able to make it up, but my wishes are always there for each and every one of you. And I will definitely visit NGRI maybe in the coming days also, maybe within the next possible 1 or 2 months. Now, coming to this 1 week, 1 lab, friends, as rightly mentioned by Dr. Prakash, the director of NGRI, this lab is playing a very crucial and critically important role in even giving early warnings, because early warning is becoming the need of the hour as far as a country like India is concerned now. Though we have already established our success with respect to the soft landing on the surface of moon, and again subsequent success of just trying to understand the solar system also with Aditya, end of the day, the ground state reality is such that we have to live on this earth. Therefore, earth should be kept very safe. And to what extent this earth could be really made safe also for human to live. So that particular aspect, though we are just celebrating the success of Ministry of Space and especially our space scientists, I think scientists from NGRI also needs to be appreciated, encouraged, motivated, and supported unconditionally, because your role in ascertaining the very important features and factors due to which we can have more than enough understanding on Earth, which is also equally and much more important. Even though we live on Earth, to what extent our understanding about this earth, for its arrangement, for its stability, for its endurance, and for its sustainability is assured, I think this is where the NGRI scientists, your intervention, your R&D, and your recommendations, they play a very, very vital role. And therefore, friends, please believe that now the society is looking at you with a lot of expectations, with a lot of confidence, that they believe that whatever data you share with the society, whatever recommendations you offer in terms of the Earth's safety as well as for its wealth related conditions, be it its metal wealth or its material wealth or its water resources, whichever way you put in. So all these data as well as factors are very, very important, and therefore your responsibility is more, and your responsibility is becoming more and more in the coming days, because now living on earth itself is posing a lot of challenges. Therefore, it is at this point of time, country also needs your scientific advice, your scientific intervention. So with respect to water, metal, material, critical minerals, their availability, the concentration with which the metal or the mineral is available, and it is available at what depth, and whether it is going to be economically viable and feasible to extract such metal wealths also from India. So we have $1 million what questions before us, and all these questions could be answered, and all these questions could be understood also only with the help of you as scientists from NGRI. So once upon a time, when we were talking about the lithium, so India was criticized by many countries, like India is the major utilizer of the mobile phone, and the mobile phone has lithium batteries, and India is now moving towards e-mobility, where again lithium is needed, whereas India is not at all having lithium, whereas we have to depend upon only ABC formula, meaning is Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. So this ABC is the kingdom of lithium. This was the belief some months back. But now history is changing. And as usual, I used to say, Mother Nature and Mother Earth, they are always, always great. And they are abundantly blessing India and Indians. And very often, they just make us understand also that she is always kind enough. And now she made us to realize that whatever we were searching for, the amount of lithium that we were searching for, the amount of, or the concentration with which lithium was expected of, all these things are available well within the country. And therefore, today, India is becoming rich with respect to the availability of lithium next to ABC also. So it's only the time that has been taken by the country to realize. But once we realize that this kind of abundance is available within the country, now you have to pitch in, and you have to make us understand to what extent we can explore it, extract it, and we can make it economically viable also. So like the way it was mentioned by Dr. Prakash, of course, the water security is also the very, very major and the most important strategies of the country. And it is where you are working very, very vigorously under Jal Shakti mission of the country. And for your inputs with respect to the availability of water is very, very crucial, critical, and important. As rightly pointed out by Dr. Prakash, you are having your access from the surface up to mid portion of the earth. Therefore, whatever wealth is available in this bandwidth, that you should only make us to understand, so that India can really reassure, re-ensure, re-energize, and revitalize its thought process, its confidence level, and also its action plan for the coming years also. And this particular laboratory is again bestowed with the very rare combination that the former director of NGRI, Dr. V.M. Tiwari, is already there, and his service is also getting continued. His service and services and his technical consultancy, his hand-holding support is also there. And therefore, we are having twin leaders, the leader who has already created a path and who has just made NGRI to reach this position is also there, very much there within the campus. And the new leader with a lot of new energy, confidence, ideas, challenges, he is also there. I think this twin combination is a great, great opportunity. And both the leaders should also make use of this opportunity. And the entire NGRA fraternity also should make use of this two leaders with a vision for CSIR as well as for NGRA. Therefore, whatever road that has been laid by Dr. V.M. Tiwari, now Dr. Prakash is all set to just take it to the next level of its development. So the graph is really going up. And by sitting here, I'm witnessing your growth. And I'm extremely happy that Dr. Prakash, your leadership is also making lot of new meanings, new ideas, new thought process. And I'm sure and I know the mantra and the success behind, or I would say the logic behind, the secret behind the success very much has its dependence on RC, which is having the great leader who is sitting next to you today, Dr. Goyalji. Goyalji, the institute is having more than enough, I would say, dependence on your guidance, your mentorship, your leadership, and also your ideas. Because with the kind of versatile knowledge that you have, with the kind of deep dive knowledge that you possess in this particular field, none other than you can really put the lab and keep them in the exact position. And therefore, I really seek your guidance and mentorship in a much bigger way in positioning this lab on the right track. And this lab is having a lot of expectations on your guidance and mentorship from RC. And I'm sure all the responsible members of RC, they're also contributing. And therefore, I take this opportunity to request each and every one of you from RC, please extend your fullest support and unconditional support to the leadership, by means of which NGRI will find always its relevance as an all-time relevant institute, not only in the history of CSIR, but also in the history of the nation and global level. Because whatever today we talk about, be it science or technology, unless otherwise it is globally recognized, it is globally accepted, and it is globally benchmarked, I think the recognition is not that enough, and nobody is there to even consider you as an impact-making institute. NGRI is no way inferior because you are known for your expertise. You are known for your unique expertise also, because as I already told, for our livelihood, first of all, the safety on the earth, then drinking water or water for any purpose, domestic or industrial or any purpose. And the next one is very important thing is metal, material, and mineral. And even if you recall the recent Amrit lecture, which was given by the topmost leaders, one of the lectures, it was also discussed that if at all future is going to give us a great threat, which is having a very great role on the demand for critical metals. Because once upon a time, we were talking that if at all a third world war happens, it may be because of water. But now the situation is posing little more difficulty, that there is every possibility that we will have threats in terms of fight for metals also, or we will just have some kind of geopolitical disturbances are also expected in terms of metals and material wealths, especially for their sustainable or their diverse applications. Fortunately, as I already told you, India is already blessed with a lot of metal wealth, but please make us understand what is the depth at which it is available, or what is the concentration and how best it could be utilized for the wealth of this country. And you should not take more than enough time to come out with this kind of findings, because sooner the finding, earlier we can just make some attempts by means of which we can showcase our preparedness for the sustainable metal wealth of this country. Even though all the other labs are working on the protection of metal and the material wealth through number of coatings and different technologies, you will only be able to tell us that to what extent it could be obtained from the resources itself. And therefore, your inputs are very critical. CSIR is also looking at you with a lot of expectations. Please make use of all your unique capabilities and also enrich all your capabilities, and to just to showcase wherever you have your proven strengths already. And wherever you can further explore your strengths in the coming days, I'm sure this 1 week, 1 lab program is offering you the right choice of a platform, because next 5 to 6 days, you will be interacting with the different components of the society in terms of general public, in terms of state authorities, industries, MSMEs, startups, ministry level contacts, and also our own next generation leaders of science and technology, who are none other than children, school children, and college students. Therefore, please make the society to understand that your mere existence is also finding its 200% relevance to cater to the requirement of the society. Also make the industries also to understand that your mere existence as well as your capabilities are going to evaluate the industries in their current as well as futuristic roadmap. And also you can create and make some extra efforts and some kind of an impact to understand the industries, and also make them understand that you will be able to come up in the coming days with number of new ideas. And especially when you talk about this hydrocarbon, shale gas, and other important resources, I think this is where you have to make the industries also to understand that they have to explore NGRI in a much more better manner. Because industries have so far explored only one portion of NGRI. NGRI is not fully understood by industries. So you should now make this platform as the right platform and make all the industries to understand all your various dimensions of capabilities, and make them to understand one particular fact that you can cater to the requirements of Indian industries. I think this is the right opportunity. So once again, I wish to recall the Honorable Prime Minister's golden words, yahi samay hai, sahi samay hai. So if you make use of this particular time as the right time, I think you will be able to make it as the meaningful statement that NGRA is really touching upon the lives of the society, and especially the lives of the Indian industries and the common man. So I'm sure you are doing well. I wish to place my sincere appreciations, congratulations to each and every one of you from NGRA family. I thoroughly enjoyed my 1 or 2 hours tentative visit that had happened some time back, but I will definitely dedicate a half a day or a 1 full day to visit each and every lab and to understand in depth your capabilities in the coming days. Therefore, make use of this platform, talk to the society, talk to the community, and just make it as not only a ceremonious celebration, but also a meaningful scientific conclave by means of which you are also getting benefits and the society should also get the benefits. With all these words, once again, sorry for my absence. And I take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Prakash for your leadership. And CSR is hopeful that, Prakash, you will take this lab to a very great position, because you are surrounded by all the positive vibes in terms of the past leadership as well as the RC, the MC, and all the positive minded scientists of NGRI. So make use of all the positive vibes and just march ahead. And the support from CSIR is always there with you. And I wish this event every success. Thank you so very much. Namaskar, Nandri.
Thank you, madam, so much. Your words of encouragement, confidence, and appreciation of the work of us earth scientists, who are always looking at the ground beneath our feet rather than at the sky above us, is warmly received and much appreciated. Thank you so much. It is time now for the address by our chief guest, Dr. Goel.
Dr. Karai Selvi, PG CSIR, Dr. Prakash Kumar, Director NGRI, Dr. Harsh Gupta, Tiwari, all the lawyers of earth sciences in the front row, and my colleagues and friends from NGRI. I must thank Director NGRI and the CSIR for giving me the opportunity to be today with you on a very unique occasion of this initiating new activity, one lab, one week, an inaugural function. Because something unique in the sense when I heard, I thought, oh, this should have happened much earlier. And the reasons are, I'll come back later, because it's something lack of communication about science and technology in the country in general, and of course, our sciences in particular. I've been as the RC chairman for the last 6 years, and this was an opportunity for me to learn much from all of you. I'm not really a science person. My expertise in satellites, but each meeting or each discussion with you, I learned something new. So that was a very pleasant thing to happen. When we talk of RC, it's basically, to me, the kind of a injecting some kind of inoculation, some different thinking, some different direction. And to that extent, I believe that for 6 years of this association, we learned a lot, and I think that we did make some differences in thinking. But I always believe in science and technology, ultimately what matters for each individual or organization is whether you make a difference. It doesn't matter how small or how big it is, but making difference is important. When we look at the CSIR lab, there's generally is kind of a division. Okay, this is a science laboratory, or this is a technology laboratory, or this is a service laboratory. In my personal view, every laboratory has to have all the 3 components. Whether it is small or big is a separate issue. Because in science, you're dominated by science, yes, but you have to have a service. And also, you have to have another aspect of CSIR that you have to earn money. There I have a little difference of opinion in the sense that earning money per se directly is not as important as you are contributing to the earning money or making wealth to the society. That's something that should be counted. Now, when we look at NGRI, we have done growth in past 6 years or maybe decade in all 3 directions. Your science contribution in terms of publications, in terms of developing new science, developing new techniques, it has tremendously increased. So that gives us a satisfaction. Your application of science for the society is also increasing, but there's some area which I think it needs further expansion. I'll come back to that later. The third is in terms of earning money, let us say. I think NGRI is doing very well. And when we look at all the 3 components together, I would say that NGRI stands probably among the first top 5 laboratories of the CSIR. So you have done well. You need to be congratulated, and you need to be. I'm happy that the new RC, which is coming up now, with Dr. Shailesh Nayak as chairman, they will give you some certainly new directions. I always believe that any association of this kind should be maximum 5 to 6 years, because otherwise the new thinking does not come. So it's a good thing that a new RC is coming and you'll be giving new directions. But I just wanted to dwell upon certain few aspects there when we look at the future. You know, the society is changing, and particularly this government is also changing thinking towards science. One thought, I'd like to go back around 60 years back. When we space people start any talk, normally we start with a quotation from Sarabhai in 1967. He gave on the UN conference. And he said that if we have to play a meaningful role in the society or in the community of nations, we must be second to none in the use of advanced technology. Actually, he was telling in the context in that time, 1967, that why space is relevant for India when we were not being a developing country. We were actually an underdeveloped country. Even pins were imported. That was his quotation, and that made the space in India a very different thing, because we never looked at space just as a science or technology. We always looked as a how to apply it for the people. And that's why India's space program has been a leading in the world in terms of space applications. Actually, our strength today only you see in Chandrayaan, Chandrayaan 3 or Aditya. But actually, if you look at past 60 years, we were the leading in the world in terms of applications. And that's our strength. Now, the second statement or second, I will say, narration is from your earlier PG, Dr. Girish Sahni. He's a good friend of mine. And once he said that in the first governing body meeting of CSIR, Prime Minister is the chairman of the governing body. So he was there, Prime Minister Modi, the first for Prime Minister Modi. And he said, Dr. Sahni said, that PM was listening for 8 hours each and every presentation with a lot of attention, but he never intervened in between. But towards the end, he asked Dr. Sahni a question. What is there for the people? So you can see the thinking of the Prime Minister is very different. I mean, all other Prime Ministers were probably thinking that we are doing great science. But this Prime Minister thinks, what is there for the people? So there is a different direction which is emerging. And that is emerging implementation of that thought you can see in space. Today, in space, he is talking much more on demand basis. Actually, there's a word now, space is coming, demand driven. Earlier, we were actually technology driven. We were driving the demand from the technology. He says, no, stop it. And he says, you do not have any remote sensing satellite for yourself. Let the agency which using remote sensing give the money. He says, I'll give the money to the Agriculture Ministry and they will give you a satellite to make. I'll give the money to the Ministry of Earth Science for, let's say, weather prediction. And you make this satellite to their liking, what they want. So he's changing the direction. And then he's saying, why not bring industry? So he's focused. So I'm just trying to bring out that we have to understand these changes even from the point of view Ministry of Earth Science, from the NGRI. The direction is changing in the sense that, okay, you do good science, but that is not enough. That's important. And now when I look at it, we have developed tremendous capability, but actually we have not exploited to the extent we can. Just give you are doing direct, let's say, development of science in terms of different technology, whether it's a gravity, whether it's a seismology, or whether it's a electromagnetic waves. You are able to see underground up to 100 meters or even more what is there below. But have we exploited that? And the question really comes is, can we exploit an NGRI alone? I'm just trying to bring the analogy with space because there he's selling the, okay, you bring industry. If you have a communication satellite, let the industry use it. Similarly, I would say that we have to create industry. In fact, there is no industry in the country, neither for space and not for, let's say, earth sciences. So analogy I'm giving is that we need to create the industry for earth sciences. In fact, when you really see, let's say you are buying we have a project, DREAM, where we are really taking electromagnetic survey and trying to see what is there inside and then do that. Where from it comes from the industry in US or somewhere. So there everything is being done in industry. Here we are depending on development of a drone. And development of drone because of some problems with NAL got delayed by 4 years. And we are not able to move forward at all. Actually, our dream was when we dreamed of a project that we would be able to survey using this drone to have multiple places, multiple numbers and big way. But we are held up because NAL could not develop or could not give us a drone in time. We are just 3 to 4 months delay. Of course, COVID is a part of that. But then, if it was industry, will industry depend on NAL for drone? Industry will not bother about it. They will order wherever is available in the world and get it done. So there is a different outlook. So we are constrained as a government organization. That constraint is really not is affecting us. So we have to think in a very different way, and we have to think in a way that how do we create startups? Like we are, if you really see the startups coming in space, today the way it has gone last 2 years, we have got at least 5 different companies who are making satellites, which was unthinkable even 10 years back or even 5 years back. Similarly, we need to bring a lot more industry, a lot more startups in the area of earth sciences. How do we explore? Other thought which I felt we have not done is, see, you have sort of expertise in compartments. We have a great technology or great science in each of these techniques. As I said, whether gravity or whether electromagnetic or whether seismology and all that. But have we done in terms of exploration, whether it's water or whether mineral, whether it's lithium, in terms of as a fusion of these sciences? And one can really think of that when we look at the visible spectrum from 3 primary colors. If I see each individually is a black and white. The moment we put 3 together, we have a millions of combinations. In fact, in space, we talk of hyperspectral, where we talk of 128 colors. We can get trillions of combinations. Similarly, when you really fuse these technologies, you will get lot more output, but how to do it? Because many of these things cannot be done by human intelligence alone. You need to bring artificial intelligence or machine learning. So where machine learning is required in their sciences, actually when you fuse these sciences together, today when you say lithium, I want to explore, I'm not very sure what kind of a signature, if the lithium is buried 10 meters or 100 meters, what kind of signature I'll get it. That you will have to really experiment, and then only you will be able to generate the so-called signatures in multiple spectrum. So this is the kind of direction which I believe you need to have in the future. Of course, publishing papers, publishing science is very important, but also developing applications using this kind of techniques, using these different aspects of sciences is something going to be very important. And as I said, we need to now bring geotechnology industry, geotech-based industry. And that's where our really efforts grow. In that sense, this so-called 1 week, 1 lab, 1 week program is something, a very good initiative. You know, when we look at the aspects, okay, how many people who in the country have really done this kind of a creation of the industry or let's support the industry, you will find that there are very few. And I just one thought in this context, I'll give you the example of Professor M.M. Sharma. You might have heard this name. He's a basically chemistry person, but there are many other chemistry experts in this country. But M.M. Sharma has helped at least 10,000 industries to develop and create wealth. See, ultimately, when I was telling that, okay, we have to really see how a lab value should be judged. And I said, why not to be seen only from direct earning? Because indirect earning is much more than the direct earning. One example I want to give you that, okay, we have a small activity in the Ministry of Earth Science called PFZ. All of you are aware of that. This started Dr. Hargupta's time. We are looking for a potential fishing zone. It came from the technology, came from the SAC, and we are just identifying where the fishes are. Our expenses on the technology or on the implementation of this program is not more than 15-20 crore. Dr. Shailesh Nayak started an activity to just get an evaluation by independent agency for the impact of that. And impact of that was diesel saving alone by almost 4 lakhs of fishermen came to the extent of 50,000 crore per year. Now, if a program can save a diesel of 50,000 crore equal per year for this country, then should I say that, and actually Minister of Science is not earning any money. Minister of Science is actually putting, let's say 15-20 crore. Now, if I spend 20 crore, Now, what will you consider as a program? Such one finance person can say, oh, we are spending money, 20 crore. But actually, indirectly, the country is generating money. So I think we have to evaluate NGRI also more from the point of view of how much wealth country is able to generate. And that will be possible only if we are able to bring that industry. The one important point which we have taken initiative is earlier is creating geotechnology based instrumentation. Today, when you really look at it, everyone buys equipment either from Norway or from US or from Germany and all that. How long can it go? And who has to take initiative? Actually, we don't have anyone else to take initiative other than NGRI. So you have to spend a lot more energy in future in area like developing instrumentation. This new directions which Dr. Prakash just now mentioned about lithium, they are all very much important, very much needed. But again, my request to NGRI will be, you have to now change your role from doer to enabler. If you feel you will only do all this, that means say that it will limit it. You will not be able to impact that the country needs. We have to move much faster. So, and that can be done, but you also adopt a different role that we don't only will do, you do it at level, you do demonstrate level, but ultimately you become an enabler and enable the country in a much bigger way. We would like to see in next 5 to 10 years, an industry which is actually $1 billion or let's say multi-billion-dollar industry. That should be our goal. Well, with these some of the thoughts, I would again thank all of you, thank Director NGRI for giving me this opportunity, and wishing you very well in the future. The lab is doing excellent job. Our wish is that you create impact, make a difference to the society in a much bigger way, and each one of you a very successful, healthy career. Well, thank you very much. Vande Mataram and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. You have outlined a very challenging future for the Institute. I'm sure with our new leadership, we will be moving in that direction. I really hope that today is the beginning of that. In the meantime, it is my pleasure to welcome CSIR NGRI to the stage. We missed you in the beginning of the program, and I invite you to share your thoughts on our week ahead and what we would like to do and what your thoughts are for NGRI. Sure.
Thank you, respected DG ma'am, Chief Guest Dr. P.S. Goyal, Prakash ji, members of all the CSIR institutions present in Hyderabad, faculty and staff of NGRI, all the distinguished invitees, guests. First of all, my sincere apologies. There was a US call at 9:30. I had thought that it will get over in 15 minutes, but it kind of extended for a longer time. But nevertheless, I'm very happy that I came in time to at least listen to part of what Goyal sir spoke about, and completely resonates with some of the things which I myself was planning to speak about. But before that, I would like to in that case, I'll go there only. Normally, one principle which I follow is never behind a podium. So that's why I wanted to avoid it. So anyway, I first of all, I would like to congratulate CSIR. This is the second event that I'm attending under this 1 week, 1 lab program. In the earlier event, DG ma'am herself was present. That event had happened at Triple IT. But I on that occasion also had mentioned that this is a fantastic idea. Normally, we know the prowess of CSIR. Some of the best applications have come out of CSIR labs. But how do you make other stakeholders aware of the kind of work that you are doing? How do you bring stakeholders to feel more involved? So this is a brilliant initiative of DG ma'am and all the senior leadership in Delhi. So I would like to congratulate CSIR and happy that this event is happening in NGRI also. There are a few things which I wanted to share on this occasion. See, I speak about it wherever I get a chance to interact with some of our most brilliant researchers, which is that research must have dual purpose. The first purpose, of course, is to advance knowledge. Advancement of knowledge is a very important goal if the society has to progress. We all know that innovation is the bedrock for prosperity. Today, the fact that we are successfully landing in some of the most difficult parts of the moon, we are running a solar mission, shows the years of research, decades of research which would have gone behind it. But the second equally important part is that how does the research benefit a common person? In fact, for us in Telangana, this has become a part of our DNA. Many of you would know that in the last 9 years, our IT sector has done very well. We have outperformed Bangalore, which is considered to be the hub of IT in our country. And there are so many other accomplishments also. So whenever myself, our IT minister, we meet the chief minister to tell him what are the results, what is the award that we have got, what is the performance and all that. I mean, he of course encourages us, but at the end of it, his question all the time is that how is all these going to benefit the common person in Telangana? And earlier, we did not really understand the significance of these questions 9 years ago, 8 years ago. But when he is repeatedly asking this question, we also started thinking that, okay, it is good to say that I am running artificial intelligence programs, I'm running blockchain programs, but how is it helping the most common citizen of this country, of this state? And understanding his thinking and his mindset, we have done something which is very unique in our country. See, as you know, the largest number of livelihoods in our country are supported by the farming sector. Agriculture supports the largest number of rural livelihoods. So what we have done is that we have studied for the main crops which are grown in Telangana. We have studied the entire sequence of activities which a farmer does. And of course, we have made a distinction between large farmers and marginal and small farmers because their two worlds are not the same. While it is very easy to say farmers, farming, but there are two types of farming. The farming which is done by the big farmer is very different from the farming which is done by small farmers. So we have understood the sequence of activities which the farming community performs. And then we have identified what are the pain points, what are the inefficiencies during each stage. And then we have tried to find out what are the technologies available to solve those pain points. And the fourth step has been how to make that technology accessible and affordable. See, obviously, many farmers, particularly small farmers, they have not gone to any college, they are not educated. Many of them, most of them will not have understanding about software or language, etc. But still, despite all these barriers, how do you ensure that technology is available to them? Maybe using an app where voice commands are possible, where someone can do it in Telugu. Or there is an assisted system. We train one person in the village on how to use that application, and he guides all the farmers. And I'm happy to share with you, I'm proud to share with you that we have been able to identify 80 plus technologies across all the sequence of activities. And with the help of our agriculture university, some of these have been tried out in the agriculture university has farmlands, so in their farmlands. And 6 of them so far, we have been able to successfully try, and now they are getting scaled up. So the reason why I explain all this is that, in my opinion, this is the best template. I mean, obviously those 80 technologies have been sourced from lots of companies, lots of startups, innovators, but obviously lots of hard work has gone behind developing those technology-enabled solutions. But The next step is even more challenging. How do you ensure that these solutions bring benefit to common people? So on this occasion, I mean, this is one very important thing which I would like to kind of appeal to all of you. And I would also like to make a suggestion that since we are located in Telangana, we are located in Hyderabad, ours is a state which is always welcoming technology-based solutions, new innovations. So any idea that you have developed, which is in a kind of a pilot stage, a trial stage, and if you want to test it in actual situations, actual circumstances, we'll be very happy to be your test bed. We can give you whatever support you require to test it out and obviously to scale it up. And hopefully the solutions that you develop here and try out here can become successful role models for the rest of the country, for possibly the rest of the world also. The second thing which I would like to tell, again, picking on a point which Goyal sir was mentioning, that our research, etc., needs to be more industry specific. I'm also the Principal Secretary of Industries in the state, and as many of us are aware, we are a very big center for life sciences. In fact, many of you will be aware that 1/3 of world's vaccines are produced here. 40% of India's pharma products are manufactured in Telangana, and this is increasing. In fact, we produce 9 billion doses of vaccines of the 27 billion that are produced globally, 1/3. And in another 18 months, this 9 billion will become 14 billions. All the major players who are in Telangana, looking at the way the world has developed in the last 3-4 years, they have decided to ramp up their production. And our position from 33% definitely will go up. It will be somewhere close to 40%. But when I interact with the industry people, what I understand is that, of course, not to say that there is no support at all from any of the institutions here. There is reasonably good amount of support. But the kind of scenario we see in, for example, in the US or Goyal sir spoke about Scandinavian countries or Europe, etc. That kind of agility to respond to the industry's challenges and industry's problems, that we still have to kind of develop. So in the US, for example, not that you are not aware, but just to share some good practices which are followed there. So one is that there are lots of representatives of the industry in decision-making bodies of these institutions. There are board members, there are technical advisory committee members, scientific advisory committee members, lots of people who are leading industries in these countries. They are actually made in, co-opted in decision-making platforms within research institutions. Of course, industry also provides funding support. So it is not that I'm doing research scraping in my own resources. Whatever industry requires, obviously, it is absolutely fair to ask them to pay for it, which they should do, and they're always prepared to do. The third important thing is that many of these institutions run some kind of programs, structured programs for the in-house faculty, staff members, research members of those industries. So these could be in-service programs or give some seats to industry candidates for PhD or postdoc or whatever. So various ways in which the industry interaction, industry academia interaction is strengthened. And at least for the life sciences sector, and life science is important, but there are other important sector also. Agriculture is very important for Telangana. As we know, large number of research institutions, research labs related to agriculture are located here. Pure sciences is again important. Defense, of course, the entire cream of countries' defense labs are located here. We are also very keen on sustainable, as you know, SDGs have become very important. And given the fact that SDGs were meant originally to have been accomplished by 2030, and we are already towards the later half of 2023, and progress is there, not to say that there is no progress, but obviously there is a very serious question mark whether we will really be able to reach these SDGs by 2030. But still, one should remain optimistic and ensure that all our efforts are channelized towards meeting SDGs. And again, sustainability is a very important fundamental essence across all the 17 SDGs. When you were speaking about lithium, one of the most important applications of lithium is in sustainable mobility. As we know, all the batteries that charge our electric vehicles currently are utilizing lithium. And it is, of course, a matter of great satisfaction that in our country itself, lithium has been discovered. But how do you mine it efficiently? Because I was reading somewhere that the mines in South American countries, Latin American countries of lithium, Bolivia in particular, because at that time, sustainable mobility was not that important a focus globally. There were very few EV manufacturers, etc. Advancement of science and technology also was limited. And therefore, the mining which was done in Bolivia in 80s and 90s, etc., apparently was so kind of improper that what the resource which should have lasted maybe 200 years or so, they exhausted it in 40 years itself. So much of inefficiencies has led to a kind of a scenario where the whole world tomorrow will repent that no one advised Bolivian mining companies or Bolivian government on how to handle it properly. Obviously, there is much more knowledge today, and hopefully in our country, the mining will be done in a more scientific way. So the industry issues, as I was trying to point out, this again is something which all the labs need to keep focus on. The last point, again, is something which I'm speaking about it, looking at the way we have been working in Telangana in the last 9 years. All of you would be aware that India has also started producing brilliant innovators, young entrepreneurs, young startups. Today, India has become the third biggest country after US and UK in terms of the number of new startups which are getting registered, the amount of funding which is going to startups. And obviously, in our country, Bangalore has been the main city where innovation and startup activities happened much more than anywhere else. But after the new state of Telangana was formed, we also have decided to put very determined kind of focus. We have created institutions. Many of you would be aware that T-Hub, which has been created by Telangana government, is today spoken as a national role model. And there are other institutions also. We have T-Works, we have V-Hub, and we have also supported lots of private innovation initiatives, including innovation initiatives which happen in CSIR labs, etc. So a lot is happening in this space as well. What we noticed 8 years ago when we started our innovation journey, many startups used to tell us that they have some activity which requires collaboration with some R&D lab, but they find it very difficult to get the doors opened of those labs because the labs also are not familiar. There is some SOP under which they operate, so they are not permitted also to give access to their labs, etc., to startups without any validation. So in the initial years, we did face some challenges, some difficulties. Startups looked very promising. They had some solution which can work potentially very well to solve some very pressing pain point. But we are not able to get permission, get approval, get access, etc. So in Telangana, we have created a very unique institution which is called RICH, R-I-C-H, the Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad. Again, this is something which is very one of its kind for our country, because the fact that there are so many great international class R&D institutions in this city, but they don't are oriented towards supporting innovation, entrepreneurship, etc. So RICH as an organization was created by the government with this focus that first of all, please find out what are the research priorities of each of these institutions. Can the startups also contribute to this? Can some collaborative work happen? Can the industry also come into this mix? And again, I'm very happy to share with you that in the last 5-6 years, RICH has done some very good work. It has focused on life sciences because that is a very important priority for us. It has also focused on clean energy, sustainable energy, and it has focused on agriculture. So I would also request NGRI to take a lead in opening its door to young innovators, young entrepreneurs. Defense labs, which used to be the most closed of them all, for obvious reasons. It's not that I'm blaming anyone, but we know that defense labs have lots of security issues. So they were the ones who were least open to anyone from outside trying to gain access to their programs, but they have opened up like anything. In fact, the Defense Ministry has created a structured program called IDEX. They gather all the problem statements from different defense units across the country, and then they invite startups to give solutions, recommend solutions. And in that process, if any access is required to some data, some machinery, some tools, some resource persons, all that is made available. So that is a very good template for everyone else also to follow. So once again, my good wishes to NGRI. NGRI has done great work in multiple issues. The last thing which I would like to share, I came across this piece of information very recently. As we know, geospatial has also become very important. Our country has a space policy, our country has a drone policy, and these two policies have become very successful. As a state, we also work on drones, we also work on GIS, etc. So I know that it is not yet officially confirmed, but DST and Survey of India have decided to set up their geospatial hub here in Hyderabad. And because of the tangential kind of work that you do, I would request you also, NGRI also, to be one of the anchors, one of the founders of that geospatial hub, so that the kind of talent and the capabilities that you have, that also benefits the society at large. So once again, with these words, I thank respected Dr. Prakash for inviting me. I convey my greetings to all of you on this occasion of 1 week, 1 lab program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. There are so many practical examples that you have given. NGRI has a long history of association with exploration industries, but I'm sure in the days to come and months, there is a lot of scope to forge new, strong partnerships with much larger spectrum of industries and take the work together towards bringing the products of earth science to the people of the country. Now we move to the exchange of MOUs between NGRI and 3 universities. First, I'd like to request Professor Raghukant from the Department of Civil Engineering, IIT Madras, to come to the stage. The MOU between IIT Madras and NGRI is aimed to have R&D cooperation between the 2 institutes in the areas of near-surface geophysical studies, geotechnical and earthquake hazard, and earth and planetary sciences. Sir, I request you for a few words on the MOU.
So good morning to all of you. I think first of all, I would like to thank Director Prakash Kumar for inviting us for this function. And of course, this MOU was pending for a long time, and already we are collaborating with NGRI on several projects. And 2 of your scientists, one of your scientists, retired scientist, Dr. Srinagesh, he is our professor of practice in our IIT Madras, and he has brought a lot of positive vibrations in our lab also. And we have, I think, Dr. Senthil Kumar, planetary sciences, who is the adjunct faculty and helping co-guiding some of our students also. Now, of course, our institute is going very big, and we have around 700 faculties are there. And our several directions we are expanding, and we see there is a lot of overlap in the research areas. And of course, NGRI has all the strength and this one. And I hope for a successful collaboration and under the leadership of Dr. Prakash Kumar and our director, Dr. Kamakod. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Please, we would like to take this moment to felicitate you. I request Professor Avinash Kadam, Director of the School of Environment and Sciences from SRTM Nanded University, to come to the stage. The MOU between the two institutes, Nanded University and NGRI, is a continuation of existing cooperation and further enrichment for the next 3 years in all aspects of geoscientific research. Request you for a few words.
Morning. I would like to thank Dr. Prakash Kumar for inviting us, for renewing our MOU. Our MOU with NGRI is quite old. It's since last 15 years, and we have completed many projects. And many of our students are already trained and observed in NGRI as scientists, and they're working as, some of them are working as technical officers, and many of the students as research scholars. I said, as PG Madam has said, under the dynamic leadership of Prakash Kumar, we expect that with the support of all senior directors of NGRI, that we would be scaling new heights and we'll be doing some good science for the benefit of society at large. Thank you.
Yes. We take this moment to felicitate Avinash. Yeah. I now invite Professor Mukesh Pandey, Vice Chancellor of Bundelkhand University, Jhansi, to come to the stage. This MOU agrees to strengthen studies on all areas of geophysics, geochemistry, and geology, particularly related to the Bundelkhand craton. A few words from you, sir.
Very good afternoon. The chief guest of the today's inaugural program, Professor Goel Sahab, the DG Madam connected online, and the Principal Secretary of IT and Commerce Government of Telangana. I am very grateful and thankful for providing this opportunity to very energetic and dynamic director of this CSIR NGRI Institute, Dr. Prakash ji, and all the audience and scientists of this NGRI CSIR lab. This Bundelkhand University is the state government university of Uttar Pradesh and a 49-year-old university. Around 388 institutions are affiliated to that university of the entire Bundelkhand. We are having a 37 departments and 27 institutions. In campus student strength is more than 12,000, and all the enrolled students in affiliated college more than 3 lakhs. Although this state university is working with CSIR in the field of the agriculture, and although the life sciences and biomedical science and other various programs, but NGRI and Bundelkhand University are learning and under various schemes and the programs, faculty exchange, research exchange. Earlier also, a lot of scientists and the faculties of the Bundelkhand University and NGRI are visiting their campuses many times. And jointly, we are also working on some collaborative projects, and we have explored certain very precious metals in the area of the Bundelkhand. Lot of research scholars are working at the PG level under the mentorship of the NGRI scientist at the project level, and also at the PhD level, we are getting the help of the mentors of the NGRI regarding some project problems. Dr. Subramaniam, who is here, visited many times Bundelkhand University, and we are also welcoming all the directors, principal secretary, and Goel Saab to visit the Bundelkhand University and the state of Uttar Pradesh. Thank you so much, and I congratulate the Dr. Prakash for organizing this wonderful 1 week, 1 lamp program in this Hyderabad city. And also, we are grateful on behalf of the Bundelkhand University. He has given the opportunity to invite us here, and we have signed and exchanged our MOU for the academic excellence, for the innovation, for collaborative research, and for creating a new avenues in the field of education and science and technology. Thank you so much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's time now to felicitate you. As a special gesture, Bundelkhand University also returns the honor and felicitates Dr. Prakash. I invite Dr. Prakash Chauhan, Director, NRSC, for his quick remarks on the occasion.
My name with myself. Good morning, namaskar, most respected Dr. Goel Saab, Ranjan Saab, Director NGRI, Prakash Ji, respected Gupta Saab, all senior directors, eminent scientists of NGRI, my friends and colleagues. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be part of this wonderful 1 week, 1 lab program, which is getting inaugurated today here at NGRI campus. And the PG madam, of course, she's joining from Delhi. I see myself in a very unique position. I have worked almost 3 decades in Department of Space, but I am also a trained geophysicist. So I find myself in this very august community where I'm linking space with geosciences. And as we are all basking in the glory of the moon landing, as well as 2 days back on Saturday, we had this wonderful launch of our Aditya L1 mission. I am fully resonating with the sentiments of Goel Saab when we say that we all live on this wonderful planet, Earth, which is the unique planet, as we know, within the solar system, which hosts life. Otherwise, in the solar system, we are still searching for life via our space exploration missions. So this program is a very wonderful program, and geophysics community and the earth science community is really doing wonderfully well in terms of providing insights into the functioning of our own planet, not only by studying the interior of Earth, but also studying the atmospheric variability, the oceanic variability, and space. You know, Department of Space, as Goel Saab was telling, since inception is basically focusing on Earth observation program, by which we are able to provide large amount of value-added services to know the health of the planet. We had ocean series of satellites. We have atmospheric, measurement of satellites, and of course the satellites which also give you some insight into the geophysical or subsurface geophysical processes. Currently here at NRSC, we are operating almost 24 satellite systems which are providing valuable Earth system science data, and it is being used for various aspects of societal development. I need not dwell on that. So in that context, we are all working with NGRI also. A lot of collaborations have happened. But I would like to just emphasize here that next year, early in the month of January or February, we are going to launch a very wonderful, unique Earth observation satellite, which is being jointly made by India, ISRO, and the JPL NASA. It's called NISR mission, NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar mission. This will be a game changer as far as the Earth science, applications are concerned, for both understanding our cryosphere, understanding the surface deformation processes, understanding our oceans. And I look forward much more interaction, because NGRI is a premier institute sitting over here in Hyderabad. NRSC, we are getting all these observations, and next month we are organizing a NISR, surface deformation workshop, and I invite all of you to participate in that workshop. Very soon we will be sending the invitations to you. Colleagues from JPL NASA are also going to come. So it's a precursor workshop before the launch, so that a lot of scientific organizations can get connected, as well as the industrial partners here in Hyderabad. As Rajnita told, Hyderabad is also hub of the geospatial industry, and in fact the first private rocket has been launched by industry here from Hyderabad. We are having 4 or 5 companies which are making satellite systems, and of course the geospatial ground segment, especially which is into the field of developing application. Many industries we are supporting from NRSC over here. So I look forward for much more interactions with NGRI colleagues, and I wish you, Director NGRI, a great success for this very unique 1 week, 1 lab program which you are creating today, and congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
I request Director NGRI and our chief guest to felicitate Dr. Prakash Chauhan. Both together. Last but not the least, we have remarks from Dr. Komal Kapoor, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NFC.
Thank you, Prakash ji, Shri Goyal ji, Shri Jai Shankar ji, and DG Madam, respected senior colleagues at NGRI. It's a great opportunity for me to attend this 1 week, 1 lab function which is happening in this NGRI complex. I belong to the Department of Atomic Energy. The Department of Atomic Energy is one of the biggest scientific department in the country, and for its own resources, it's all dependent upon the exploration in which NGRI is a big part. I would thank NGRI on this occasion to contribute towards this mission of atomic energy, especially Mr. Prakash, who happens to be associate in our program. Once again, from part of atomic energy, I wish this function a grand success. Thank you very much.
Please, sir, for your felicitation. I request our chief guest to felicitate Dr. Kapoor. As we draw to the end of the program, Director NGRI will be felicitating our chief guests. Dr. Goel. Shri CSIR NGRI. Thank you so much, sir. So now I will invite our senior most scientist, Dr. Purnachandra Rao, for his vote of thanks. And he will also lead after that the national anthem. After the national anthem, I request everyone to join us for refreshments in the second and ground floor of the extension building to share the end of the program together. Thank you so much.
A great morning to all of you on this very auspicious occasion of 1 week, 1 lab inaugural program. Professor P.S. Goel, Chief Guest of the Day, our RC Chairman and former Secretary to Government of India, Dr. Kalai Selvi, Director General CSIR, and also Secretary DSIR, Government of India, Sri Jayesh Ranjan, IAS, the Dynamic Principal Secretary to the Government of Telangana, Dr. Prakash Kumar, Director CSIR NGRI, Padma Shri Dr. Harsh Gupta, Padma Shri Dr. V.P. Dimri, former Directors of NGRI, Dr. V.M. Tiwari, former Director of NGRI, Dr. Prakash Chauhan, Director NRSC, several dignitaries who have come from other places. We're very glad to have you here. Dr. Avinash Kadam from Nanded University, Dr. Mukesh Pandey from Bundelkhand University, Dr. Komal Kapoor from NFC, and we have Professor Raghukant from IIT Madras. Distinguished scientists, students, ladies and gentlemen, it's my very pleasant duty to propose a vote of thanks on this very, very important occasion. At the outset, I'd like to thank Professor Goel, who has been leading us for several years now as the RC chairman. And he was very kind enough to be present on this very important turning point, I would say, for this premier national research lab in geophysics. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us the very important advice, a very timely advice to look for the right direction that takes people along, that addresses issues pertinent to the society. We need to change our direction. I think that point was very well taken by one and all. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Kalai Selvi, who is the head of CSIR family, she has been very kind to NGRI all along. She has been very encouraging. In fact, she is also now the driver of the innovation engine of India, as we all know. And thank you, madam. Although your blessings are coming online, we would have been extremely delighted if you had been with us today. But I'm very thankful to you that you promised to be with us very shortly. So thank you so much. And your kind words, which are put in the right context for the future of NGRI, I think they are very well appreciated. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Sri Jayesh Ranjan, IAS, we all know how dynamic he is. We have heard about you previously, sir. And I think it's our great privilege that a person who can drive the technological innovations of the Telangana state, is with us here today. And I was very happy to note the extremely successful changes that are being brought in by the government of Telangana in the area of science and technology. And I think NGRI should take advantage of the local proximity with your government, with our government, sorry, to take benefit for driving the future of this National Geophysical Research Institute. Thank you, sir, for being with us. Dr. Prakash Kumar, our young dynamic director of NGRI, has been extremely serious and focused about this program of 1 week, 1 lab. And in a lighter vein, I can say that it was very hard to meet him for anything other than 1 week, 1 lab program during the last few days. But the sample is in front of you, the hard work and the efforts made by the various committees that have taken great interest and very seriously designed this wonderful program, which you will see in the days to come. The next couple of days are going to be very exciting and very fruitful. This is what I believe. I'm very thankful to all the leaders of the geoscience community in the country today for coming here and being with us. Professor Raghukant, my very close friend, has come from IIT Madras. And of course, we have Professors Avinash Kadam and Mukesh Pandey and Dr. Komal Kapoor. All of you, we're very thankful for being physically present and for the MOUs that were exchanged. The wonderful words that were spoken by Dr. Prakash Chauhan actually gives us confidence that we are quite linked with the space community. I mean, he's an excellent conduit, I would say, if you permit me to say that, to connect geosciences with space sciences. And we look forward to your guidance and your help in achieving this very, very important task of the uniting geoscience with space science. I'm very thankful to all the scientists, staff, students who have come and attended this program in large numbers. And I can see things to come in the next few days. It's a sign of a great enthusiasm that is being reflected by CSIR NGRI. I'm very thankful to all the sections, the electrical sections, the lab maintenance, the information division. Of course, they have been working day and night. I can see that. And I thank all, one and all, for attending today's program. Thank you very much. I request all of you to rise for the national anthem. Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkal Vanga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga Uchchal Jaladi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. We'll reassemble at the car parking for the inauguration of the R&D exhibition at 12 noon, maybe 5 minutes, because we are 10 minutes delayed. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Cheers, laptop.